Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be discussing anything and everything that has to do with the upcoming content for Season 2 here within Black Ops Cold War. Now before we get started, to quickly cover on the gameplay, it's going to be a mix of the new Kiss Confirmed game mode, which is basically just kill confirmed with candy hearts and kissing noises instead of dog tags, and a bit of free-for-all. After getting Dark Matter, I've been playing a lot more free-for-all lately because a number of the multiplayer challenges are tied to playing and winning free-for-all, and in my experience, this game mode is equal parts awful and equal parts fun. Everything is so fast-paced, and spawns are so clustered together that it always feels like you're fighting 2 or 3 people at the same time, which can randomly be fun, so expect a decent amount of free-for-all gameplay to go up here on the channel in the future as I get better at the game mode and as I work towards finishing those challenges. With the introduction now out of the way, let's go ahead and discuss all the leaks and the rumors surrounding Season 2, as well as some suggestions I have that I think would definitely make the game better going forward, starting with Season 2. Now keep in mind, a lot of this information is going to be leaked and data mined, so while yes, a lot of this stuff is in fact in the game files, until it hits the live servers, take everything you hear today with a pinch of salt. Also keep in mind that Season 2, at the time of this video being recorded, is 13 days away, so we're pretty freaking close, and it's going to be exciting to see all of the new content as it comes out. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into the information. So with Season 2, right now, there's a bunch of information out there. We have rumors of course, new maps, right? Some maps that we saw all the way back in the game files of Season 1 that were not released with Season 1, well, those are going to be coming with Season 2. A lot of new maps, potentially remakes. We don't know too much about the maps right now, but we do know for a fact that a new sniper rifle, as well as a new submachine gun, are going to be coming in Season 2, and if history is any indicator, going back to Modern Warfare 2019, and even Season 1 of Black Ops Cold War, they're going to be tied to the Battle Pass. So, new sniper, new submachine gun, that sounds awesome. Also, 2 new melee weapons, for those of you who actually care about melee weapons. In terms of score streaks, remember way back before the game came out, it was data mined that the game was going to have something like 16 or 18 different score streaks, and then a number of them were cut before launch, and we all kind of thought, well, what the hell is that about? Well, it turns out, as we all accurately predicted, those score streaks are going to be slowly drip-fed to us, I suppose, over the course of the Black Ops Cold War lifecycle. The Flamethrower was one such score streak that was in the game files before the game came out and then was cut from launch, and the Flamethrower is said to be coming in Season 2. In fact, Treyarch put out some promotional material a while ago which actually shows the Flamethrower, which is weird that they would actually do that. I guess it's kind of a meta teaser, that, or they plan for the Flamethrower to be there in the game at launch when they released Raid and when this promotional image was initially created. So either way, the Flamethrower is going to be coming in Season 2, and allegedly, the K9 unit is going to be returning. Now, that's very interesting to me because the K9 unit was not something that was leaked before the game came out. It was not in the game files before the game came out, to my understanding, but apparently the K9 unit will be coming. If so, that's awesome, because the K9 unit, in my opinion, is a score streak, or kill streak rather, that is something that is kind of iconic with Treyarch and the old school Treyarch games, right? You think World at War, Black Ops 1, like the K9 unit was a pretty big deal back then, and apparently it's going to be coming here in Black Ops Cold War, which is going to be a nice bit of nostalgia for old school Call of Duty fans. Of course, with a new season, we're going to get a brand new battle pass, complete with a bunch of cosmetic items, as well as the weapons I mentioned previously. Allegedly, Samantha Maxis, who's getting a lot of attention right now, because of course she's a focus of the new Firebase Zombies map, apparently she's going to be coming as an operator, though as of right now, we don't know if she's going to be on the battle pass or as a bundle. If I know Activision, she'll likely be a bundle, but I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Apparently, Zombies camos are finally going to be able to be used in Warzone. I'm not sure how accurate that information is. Right now, you can use multiplayer camos from Black Ops Cold War in Warzone, but not Zombies camos, which really doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. Like, what's the difference? I don't understand, like, why multiplayer camos are just, oh yeah, throw those in there, but zombie camos are like, oh no, there's too many technical hurdles for us to jump over to get the zombies camos in there. Like, zombies camos, there's not even zombies in Warzone. Like, I don't understand how that's a thing, but apparently zombies camos supposedly are going to be coming to Warzone in Season 2. Of course, with the new season, we're going to get 4 new prestiges, and with those 4 new prestiges, the prestige shop shop is going to update. So as of right now, we basically have Prestiges 1 through 7 from virtually every Call of Duty game ever that has Prestige mode, including Blackout and even Zombies from games like Black Ops 3, which I think is actually super cool. The thing about this, however, the thing I'm most excited about when it comes to the Prestige shop update is because we're going to be going up to the 10th and 11th Prestiges from the previous Call of Duty titles, old school Call of Duty fans like myself will finally be able to unlock the Prestige icons from Call of Duty 4, the Gold Cross, for example, my personal favorite, the 10th Prestige icon from World at War, as well as, of course, the 10th Prestige icon from games like Modern Warfare 2 and things like Black Ops 1. So that's definitely going to be pretty cool. And finally, there is a rumor that a new PvE-style open-world zombies mode called Outbreak is going to be coming as well. Now, as of right now, not too much information is actually known about Outbreak. The mode is said to take place on one of the Fireteam maps. It's going to be this open-world zombies experience, so that sounds really interesting to me. Maybe it's transit style. Right now, the leaks and rumors aren't really going into too much detail, so definitely take this information with a pinch of salt, but I like transit. And I know that's sacrilege to a lot of Zombies fans, but I'm firmly in the camp that transit was limited by the hardware at the time, which is why there had to be lava everywhere. That's why they had to have fog everywhere. Like, transit, the annoying parts of transit were there because it was made to work on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, while also having that smooth 60 frames per second feel that Call of Duty is known for. It was really hard for the developers, to my understanding, to actually make transit work on that old hardware. And as a result, I've always wanted to see what transit, or at least an open world Call of Duty Zombies map, would be like on current hardware. We didn't get to really see it all that much on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. Well, now that the Series X and the PlayStation 5 is out, along with, of course, a lot of people anyway, moving over to PC, I think there's definitely room for an open world Zombies map. Maybe it'll be great, maybe it won't be great, but either way, they could be testing the waters with Outbreak, and that definitely sounds pretty interesting to me. Now, as of right now, that's basically all of the information that we have. Again, Season 2 is going to be coming out in 13 days, so I have a feeling that a lot more stuff is going to be popping up over the course of the coming days as we get closer to the launch of Season 2. But now I would like to switch things over to discussing things I feel as though should come to the game that aren't currently confirmed, as well as additions to the game that should be made to make the experience better for the player as a whole. Now, you may be expecting me to talk about skill-based matchmaking here. Obviously, skill-based matchmaking should be removed, but I've discussed that countless times here on the channel. So instead of talking about that, we're going to be talking about more tangible, I suppose, content updates that could actually be coming to the game. I feel as though with Season 2, they definitely need to have the mantra of having a faster release schedule of content. That is something that needs to take priority, because right now, new content is something we don't really see a whole lot of in Black Ops Cold War. The content that we saw back in Season 1 was very spaced out and very few and far between, and I feel as though even if they have to make it so remakes take priority as compared to new content, that would be a good thing, because if they load up Season 2 with a bunch of map remakes like the ones that were leaked forever ago. You guys remember hearing that we're supposed to have things like Jungle, Firing Range, and Summit with Black Ops Cold War, but those things never actually became a thing? Even if they have to remake maps like that and put them into Season 2 and kind of front load all of their remastered content into Season 2, that's okay with me, because that would give them more time to finish up the new content for Seasons 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right, if we kind of front load all that stuff right now, which gives them more time to actually, flesh out the maps, flesh out the Zombies maps, flesh out the reimagining of the multiplayer maps. Hopefully they actually do that. As of late, I'm kind of disappointed that maps like Express and Raid come out and they're basically the exact same maps that we saw back in Black Ops 2, but with, 1980s era televisions on them. I want them to actually reimagine the maps, right? Don't change the layouts, but make the maps feel different, right? If they're going to bring back Summit from Black Ops 1, time has passed in Black Ops Cold War as compared to Black Ops 1. So what they should do is either make it so the map reflects that time that has passed, maybe have the facility itself be taken over by a different group, or just show some environmental storytelling like we saw with Nuketown 1984, right? Just make it so the maps look a little bit different, but still have that same iconic layout that we all know and love, because there's one thing we learned from Modern Warfare 2019 is do not mess with success, do not ruin maps like Crash and Shipment, and Vacant wasn't horrible with the changes they made, but they changed Vacant for really no reason. Don't make changes, right? We already like the map layouts. We already like the maps. Just make it so it's more interesting to play on those maps by changing either the weather or the time of day or the overall decoration and feel of the map. There's a lot they could actually do with that kind of stuff. And for me personally, and it's just my opinion, of course, I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comments. I would be okay with them front-loading most of their remakes and their remastered content into Season 2, if that means that for Seasons 3, 4, 5, and 6, we basically get all new content, and that content is actually fleshed fleshed out and really well put together. Switching gears here for a second, let's talk about zombies. This is something I've seen on Twitter quite a bit and coming from the zombies community quite a bit, but they really need to revamp zombies to allow us to create our loadouts in the main menu. Right, you may be thinking about the create class that we currently have. No, let's go back and talk about what we had in the previous Treyarch titles, where you could take a gun, let's just say, for example, the AK-47, and you could make your own loadout for that gun in zombies. So you could pick all your attachments that you want for the AK-47, and even pick the camo that you want for your AK-47. So if you got Dark Aether, for example, you could actually have that. And whenever you find the AK-47 in the box, or if it's a wall weapon, it already has the attachments that you want, as well as the camo that you want. A lot of people are very upset, the hardcore zombies fans that is, because they're grinding through all these different camo challenges to get Dark Aether, and then they get a gun from the box and it has no camo. And that's pretty boring and that's pretty lame, right? Only the gun that they start with actually has the camo that they want. It was much cooler in a game like Black Ops 3, for example, where you could just pick the camo that you want for your gun. Then when you buy that gun off the wall, it already has that camo as well as the attachments that you've unlocked for it. That would be neat. They could keep the weapon rarity system. Like, I'm just gonna make up an example. Let's say the Commando is a, tier 3 damage wall weapon on a certain zombies map. Keep that damage there by default if you would like to, but just allow players to pick the attachments and allow them to pick the camo. That would be such a nice quality of life improvement for zombies fans. I was talking about the challenges earlier in multiplayer, how I'm playing free-for-all and try to do all the challenges for that. Well, did you guys know that there is no 100%er calling cards in this game? It makes no sense, right? I mean, in Black Ops 4, I was super disappointed because I did every single multiplayer challenge in that game, and all I got was an animated calling card, and the animated calling card was pretty lame, considering that game was full of supply drops, and you couldn't really tell by looking at that calling card what it was, and as a result, it just looked like another supply drop calling card, even though it's something that I literally grinded days and days and days of my life away to actually achieve. Well, here in Black Ops Cold War, it's like, whoa, you guys don't like our animated calling card for doing all the challenges in the game? Well, we'll just get rid of it then. It's like, what? No, I mean, just make it better. Like, that's the whole point. Like, make it so when you do all the challenges for either multiplayer or zombies or even campaign, make it so the reward is actually good. Don't just take the reward away itself. So hopefully with Season 2 or at some point in the future, they do something to make it so if you get 100%er in multiplayer or zombies or even campaign, that you have something that actually reflects that. Maybe something even better than a calling card. Maybe a special operator, although they tend to throw all those in the shop. But maybe a camo. Maybe a calling card, a camo, as well as an operator. That'd be something really cool for rewarding people for grinding every single challenge in the game. There needs to be more completionist content in this game, in my own personal opinion. And finally, to wrap things up here, speaking of completionist content, I'm hoping that with Season 2 and onward, the Prestige shop gets significantly overhauled. Right now, it's actually kind of neat. I do like the fact that we have these old school calling cards and old school Prestige icons, but the problem with the Prestige shop, in my opinion, is basically everybody, myself included, and probably all of you guys listening to this video, we have one or two calling cards that we really like. We have 1, 2, maybe 3 different Prestige icons that we really like, and that's it. Right? Why are we going to sit there and buy all these Prestige icons that we're never going to use? What's even the point of that, right? Why would we buy a bunch of random calling cards if we have no plans to actually use them? Basically, we pick 1 or 2 of the things that we like, we get them, and then we just rock those until basically the end of time. Right now, the Prestige shop is very minimal. It's very bare bones. I like the idea of it. I like what we have so far, but it needs to be expanded. And I feel as though they could do that, again, by going back to the operator system, have an exclusive operator, not just a revamp or a recolor, but a brand new operator that can only be bought from the Prestige shop for, say, I don't know, what's a good price? 5 Prestige keys, 10 Prestige keys, 50 Prestige keys? That would be pretty cool. Maybe if they're going to be bringing back all these Prestige icons and calling cards, why not camos? I mean, we learned from these CDL skins that they can add a camo to the game that just gets added to every single weapon in the game, so why not bring back old school camos from the other Call of Duty games that are maybe a bit, I don't know, like a bit niche, a bit underrated, but make them cult classics, right? Like Urban, for example, from Modern Warfare 2. I would say anybody who played Modern Warfare 2 would agree that Urban in that game was randomly one of the coolest camos, right? Obviously, the higher up ones, like, Red Tiger and Fall were the ones that people went for, but Urban was super cool. You got it relatively early on, everybody rocked Urban, and it looked pretty cool. It would be nice to see something like that be added to the game. Make it so it costs, 10 Prestige keys or something, you can grind for it, and then once you have it, you can rock Urban on any weapon in the game. That would be really cool. Another thing that they could do is potentially make it so zombies camos, right? The zombies pack-a-punch camos, not only from this game, but even the previous Treyarch titles, can be earned in the Prestige shop. Make them somewhat expensive, make it so people actually want to grind for these things, but make it so you can get weaponized 115, or what's that blue one called? Afterlife, I think it is. Like, make it so we can get that. Make it so we can get the pack-a-punch camo from Black Ops Cold War here, but maybe make it a reactive camo, where every few kills, it alternates between the different colors that you get as you pack-a-punch your weapon up and go from stages 1, 2, up to 3, right? There's a lot they could potentially do with the Prestige shop to make it much more interesting, and I think that they will. I'm just wondering how long it's going to take, and I'm wondering how good it's actually going to be once they update the Prestige shop. But, ladies and gentlemen, those are just some of my ideas, just talking about the idea of content coming to Black Ops Cold War and things I would like to see them change. Of course, once again, Season 2 is right around the corner, and we do know for a fact that new maps are coming, a new sniper, a new submachine gun, as well as new score streaks, new melee weapons, new battle pass, new operators, like all that good stuff is coming. But there's also a bunch of stuff that hasn't really been discussed, so I want to take the time to sit down and talk about that stuff here today, and of course ask you guys, what other changes and what other bits of content would you like to see added to Black Ops Cold War in the near future with Season 2 and onward? I'm very interested to hear about that. Leave your thoughts and feedback down in the comments, but until then, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider leaving a like. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.